Well, grand final of the Underdog Cup. We're finally here. Best of 5 series. We got Sometimes You Win up against the KD Agents. It's a rematch. We had that pairing already in the winner bracket final. And there, it was a 3-1 for Sometimes You Win. So now the chance for the KD Agents to go for the revenge play and take him down. Battlefield is the first map of the best of 5. Heroes can only be played once within the series, and both of the teams are already in prize money range, so great for them, but of course it's all about the glory at this point. Now, Li Ming gets immediately banned, and so does Medivh. It actually seems that the KD Agents are just banning Medivh every single game that they're playing right now. It's a hero that they must have had some pretty bad run-ins with, and of course we had some pretty good Medivh performances throughout the tournament. But this seems to be just a general thing that they're going to get rid of because they just don't like it. Now, BOE, always pretty awesome map here. And it's a nice starting map as well to just get things properly started, get it going here, and see who is going to take the lead in this best of 5. Quick reminder, this is a tournament that was specifically set up to have some of the grassroots teams perform in it. HeroesLounge is obviously a pretty big community, where the biggest amateur scene that we have in Heroes of the Storm, and these are teams that are in Division 2 and Division 3 of HeroesLounge, and have also a long history with the league. The general level of play is very high diamond to low grandmaster roughly, and the entire tournament has been a blast. We weren't quite sure how much people were interested in playing in something like this, and we had way more teams sign up and try to play here than we actually could like add into the tournament. We decided right at the beginning we would only feature 8 for this. If we have future iterations, we're probably going to make this a little bit bigger. But we had initially 2 groups of 4 played out, the top 2 advanced, and then the final 4 played out a double elimination bracket, which leads us now to the grand final between these 2 teams. And it's been a blast. So very happy with this, trying to support the grassroots a bit and also give teams a chance to play, perform, and showcase their own skills in team that would normally not have an opportunity like this in a big tournament where you have all of the ex-pros playing and obviously just slaughtering them. So now as we're heading into our first draft, we have Ando in a very early pick. Not immediately, oh, Urel, not immediately going for a Genji pick with this, but Diablo Urel. So that was always an insanely powerful frontline. Was super spicy. I mean, those 2 together are super difficult to break through. And Genji gets therefore banned. Now that the red team has an opportunity to deny the light bomb engage with Anduin, they actually do that. So they ban that out. And then over on the right side, we have Chromie the Haka. Chromie obviously always pretty easy to get some damage in against the Immortal. And from the ban pattern of the blue team, you can already see that they were trying to deny some of the most common and most popular damage dealers in the Immortal fight to the red team. Hanzo is still up, so you could go for him too. And what we also have seen previously, at least, is Sergeant Hammer from the KD Agents. So that's another one to at least consider here. But of course, you have Urel, Diablo. They would try and jump on her whenever they get a chance. But there's, for now, Arthur's and Brightwing, so the next damage dealer, the final one, is still up for grabs and left up in the air on what exactly that's going to be. Arthur's as a main tank. Question that I still have is, are we going to see Syndragosa again, or is he actually going to commit to the Army of the Dead? Because so far, the main play has actually been Syndragosa to try make the push a little bit stronger and even just benefit them in team fights as they are slowing down the opponent and are able to give chase. For the blue team, Greymane for immortal damage, and we get Gul'dan. It was actually quite surprising to see that mages have been on the back burner a bit in a lot of the drafts. We've seen Kel'Thas once, but Gul'dan, I think, has made his first appearance today. And as already called, here's Sergeant Hammer. So they actually go for hammer time. Battlefield is our first map in the best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. The grand final between the KD Agents and Sometimes You Win. The grand final kicks off on Battlefield of Eternity, and on the left side we have Haidunio, Polish player, playing Gul'dan and going for an Echoed Corruption build against Sergeant Hammer. Padapon on Urel, we got Bouncy Bear on Diablo, Kensei on Anduin, and Snowbee is playing Greymane. On the right side of the map, the Agents. They play their third best-of-5 series today. They started in the winner's bracket final, dropped down into the lower bracket, and made a run straight back to the grand final for revenge. Kani on Sergeant Hammer, Kratodel on Dehaka. We have White Tiger on Chromie, Giblets on Brightwing, and Simply is playing Arthurs. Let the games begin. So, talking about Arthurs, still that shitty mount over there. Just double checking all of the bushes. Nobody's even there because they're all hiding behind the wall, not willing to give anything to their opponents. And Sergeant Hammer, of course, already zipping out. The problem is just the lack of mobility until level 7, and there's too many heroes that would love to just simply jump on the stationary target and take it out. So the fight down here is already starting up, and yeah, this should be pretty wild. In the meantime, once again, a quick reminder, I already talked a bit about it during the draft, but keep in mind that this tournament is organized in cooperation with HeroesLounge. They are the biggest amateur scene in the game. You can even play if you're from North America. We have actually several Americans that only play in the league that they have. But they also played in the tournament here, so it doesn't really matter. You will have to play cross-server, but depending on where exactly you live, that's not even that big of a problem. The important thing is, if you want to play with like-minded people and you're not really interested to just like quick match it up or play Hero League all the time, which can be an utter disaster, then make sure to check them out. It's easy to sign up. You can sign up as an individual player. You don't need a 5-man. You can sign up with a friend. It doesn't matter if you're in Wood League or in Grandmaster. You will be added to a team or put into a league where you play against people on your level, and it's just a completely different story to play Heroes of the Storm with like-minded people that like to just, you know, theorycraft a little bit about strategies, about heroes, and like to have some fun together. So if you want to join all of that, and if you want to keep the competitive spirit there alive, then check them out, have a look at the website. If you have any questions, you can also check out their Discord. They have a very, very active Discord community. So yeah, HeroesLounge.gg. Big thumbs up, and this is really the way that you can enjoy a more competitive angle of Heroes of the Storm the most. So yeah, have a look. With the first objective now soon coming up, teams will make a play, of course, for the Shaman Camp as usual, but the bottom lane has already taken some damage. To be more specifically, the bot wall on the red team side. Now, over here on the right, damage is slowly being pushed out against the camp. We have for Sergeant Hammer now the regenerated Fire Steel, which is also interesting, to tell you the truth, because I think Siege Tactics might have been the better choice here, considering that Diablo and Urel are very likely going to make big moves for Sergeant Hammer. And that same is also true for, of course, Greyman. So trying to avoid some of those wall stuns is probably a good idea. I mean, either way, the blue team is already trying to be a bit aggressive. They had one big advantage after they played the winner bracket final against the KD Agents. They were able to watch all of this, think a bit about what they want to do, what kind of strategies they want to run, and also, of course, just take a little bit of a breather while watching the opponent and probably just chatting about what they've been seeing in the series in the lower bracket. Khaldor is already getting a lot of value out of the Echoed Corruption, is sitting at 15 stacks. Nice damage also against Dehaka, as Urel is starting to jump in. Chromie doesn't like that at all. But they haven't done any damage to the opponent's Immortal themselves. So they're just very heavily focused on trying to get some kills here and defend properly. Chromie again attacked and needs some assistance from Brightwing, which is there. Khaldor has to be cautious too, because he's been eating a lot of damage here and forcing Anduin to heal him up as quickly as possible. But slowly and steadily, the team is doing work. Greyman is the one that has to rotate over and deal with the red team's Immortal here. Arthur's, of course, immediately trying to counterplay this with Frozen Tempest. He has a fantastic tool against Greyman. Was actually for the longest time in the earlier stages of the game a counter. And talking about Greyman, we saw that Snowbee gets stunned out, but works in some additional melee auto attacks, and the blue team takes the halftime show victory by a pretty significant margin, 2,500 hit points roughly. So they can just burn this down quickly, and the red team doesn't even seem to defend. They're just having Sergeant Hammer sit here, get stunned out, and that slows the progress down even further. So that's a solid first objective for Sometimes You Win. In addition to that, There is a lead in experience for the KD agents. They move to the lanes a bit quicker and picked some up. But it's obviously not going to be enough to give them a talent advantage or anything. The push will center around the top lane. It's going to be the one that gets attacked. And I think the wall will fall more than that. A bit unlikely. But we'll see. Because the defense, I mean, it's mainly Arthur's at the front, and then you have the 2 damage dealers sitting in the back. Khaldor is now saying hello and is trying to assist them with some additional hits and also stack his level 1, of course. Arthur's gets just bullied around by Diablo. I'm still sad that we never really got any funny comics around Heroes of the Storm lore. They went into this whole lore approach with Raven Court and just like Nexus heroes. And I think it's just so silly. It would have been so much more fun if they would have done some nice cartoon comics and just done some Heroes High School. That would have been amazing. Heroes High School, and you just, you know, see baby Ragnaros, you see Diablo in a classroom, just stuffing some nerds into lockers and stuff like that. Just baby versions of all of the heroes, having fun in some high school environment. You could have made some real fun things around that and also add skins to the game. I mean, baby Ragnaros is an insanely popular one. Just imagine if you have a few more like that for other heroes too. It would have been awesome. I mean, Diablo maybe becomes the captain of the football team or something. There was so much potential there. It's a bit of a shame that that never really happened. But yeah, I think that's the story for a lot of aspects of the game. Level 10 in half a level for the KD agents. They took the wall down, so good for them. At the bottom of the map, of course, it's the Haka who's still defending. And we now have Urel saying hello here. But at the top, even pushing for the fort a little bit more aggressively. Shouldn't really overdo it though, because again, that level 10 ability is going to get locked in very, very soon. Now, in the meantime, we have the objective popping up again. We get for Brightwing the Blink Heal and Syndrome also. Mentioned it during the draft. It is the go-to talent here, at least for Arthur's players. And they are fully aware that they have a little gap over their opponents. They know that they have a chance to steal the camp away. For the blue team, this is awkward. They're just sitting there like, yep, we might have to let this go. It's just going to be by a few seconds, but I don't think we have a chance to do anything. And even on the Immortal, they have to let this slide. Urel is finally at the bottom of the map to get them another minion wave, and that gives them level 10. And ooh, we got Sacred Ground. Sacred Ground for Urel. Okay. And she's already jumping in, and that is first blood. Chromie is gone.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that's the end of her. Chromie is out of the picture. That allows them an easy shot at the Immortal again. Gul'dan with a little bit of sucky as he starts to drain, but it's obviously Greymane that does the most work. And then up at the top we got, yeah, the defense from Urel. The Haka was trying to get some value. They have technically 2 globals, of course, with Brightwing and the Haka, so they control both of the lanes and get some extra experience there. But on the Immortal, it's a very different story. Now Chromie is back to business. Red team still defending, as they should. And yeah, we'll see how successful this is going to be for them. Yeah, okay, Diablo caught for a second, but thankfully for him, Anduin is ready and to the rescue. And Urel is still ghosting around up at the top. I mean, the more pressure she can commit there, the better. Quest completed for Gul'dan already. Yeah, Sergeant Hammer was always a very thankful target when it comes to completing your level 1 quest. Usually on most maps you're struggling a bit to get that done this quickly, but they are getting great hits in. And Sergeant Hammer is dangerously low. So is Diablo, but Arthur's is the one that might be in trouble here, and he barely walks out. Greymane not willing to commit to anything, but now they're going for the objective. So while Arthur's has to retreat, they're getting extra damage out with Urel, who still can pop the ult, by the way. So Chromie is now doing damage down at the blue team's Immortal, but we have Sometimes You Win. Move in again. Urel gets her ult out, and that's another objective that they take. By a smaller margin. Much smaller margin. So this is the chance to take the bottom fort out. The wall is already gone. So here you have an opportunity to get a little bit more damage done and specifically try and take the fort out completely. So we'll see if they can pull this one off now. But they should be. I mean, even with Sergeant Hammer being there, I just don't see how they can stop this. The shield might be small, absolutely true, but the fort is so exposed. I mean, what exactly are you going to try and do here? If you don't get some quick kills in, there's absolutely no way. And Gul'dan is obviously pretty decent when it comes to structure control as well. Oh, light bomb, and that's a kill. Sergeant Hammer got hammered. That's the kill right there. The Immortal doing a bit more work, and all of a sudden it's not only the fort that gets destroyed, but also the bottom wall. The keep is taking some damage from Gul'dan, and he doesn't even have his Ruinous Affliction on level 16. So yes, they are starting to take a significant lead in structures. Doing well here. On top of that, we also have now here and there for Chromie, so some Chromie shenanigans going on as she's attempting to move away whenever Yrel jumps on her. Not really a bad idea, to be honest with you. I mean, this is really something where Chromie can try and avoid being chased down by heroes like Yrel or maybe even Greymane. But the camp at the top gets now also claimed, so that's the blue team going in for another mercenary camp. The red team just not really able to make any big dents in all of this. Part of me would have loved the blue team to just follow up in that corridor and Arthur's turn around and drop Syndragosa on them. It would have probably not even changed anything, but just the fact alone that he would have easily taken the entire team with it would have been fun. Now down here, White Tiger gets attacked again, but he's not the only one. Chromie survives. What about Arthur's? He gets out. Barely. Same is true for Anduin. Anduin makes it out of the fight, but that got close for a second. A little bit too close for comfort, if you ask me. So the next Immortal is spawning. Dehaka has taken control over the bot lane and started defending there. Because, again, that keep is massively exposed. And now there's a Catapult and a Khaldor moving in. Yeah, they need someone there. And Brightwing is the one to start to do his thing. So, as is, we now have, on top of that, also Bouncy Bear leading the charge with Diablo. So they're going to start moving in for the big fight around Immortal number 3. And a head start for the blue team. It's already some good news at least. Now seems like they are trying to get the camp at the top, and Chromie is using that opportunity to get some extra damage in from afar. 43,000 damage for Gul'dan. He's top damage in the game. Has even eclipsed Sergeant Hammer, who's sitting at 41,000. Chromie herself with 39k. Yeah, and Sergeant Hammer is not liking this at all. That Ruinous Affliction play is going to be big later on. It's going to get even more damage in on Hammer. And they are immediately targeting Kani and forcing him to use a Z. So, already down a couple of his tools that he could use. And the topside fort, just saying, it's insanely low. Greymane is actually thinking about going for it, and he does so together with Yrel, and they take the fort out. So that fort is destroyed, but it also gives the red team a halftime show victory. They saw that coming from a mile away, of course, and immediately said, okay, if you go for the fort, we go for the fort. Bit of a leading experience, though, once again, for Sometimes You Win. And right now, we have also fast forward for Chromie. And the halftime show is actually not even done. Now we're talking. They tap the fountain and have to try and start and re-engage here, but they've won that level 16 talent. So, yep, Brightwing is sitting tight here. Yrel comes in, they won 16, and they are very, very close. The passive experience trickle that they should get is most likely going to do it for them. Sergeant Hammer once more in a bit of trouble, and Brightwing is assisting. Ruinous Affliction is now ready, but I think they might be a bit too low as is. Greymane is trying to turn the tides of this Immortal fight on the left side, but with level 16 talents, the red team is definitely slowed down a bit and doesn't really want to engage here. But they have Sergeant Hammer and a really neat spot and can still dish out the damage, and they should be able to win this Immortal. Question is if they have all of their heroes alive while they do that. Whoa, Gul'dan. Damn, that was close. The Immortal is already won, and the team is slowly moving back out. So the KD agents, with some good moves around all of this. By the way, only 2 kills. 15 minutes into the game, only 2 kills. That's all that we got here. So this is really, I mean, this is a tightrope walk for them. And now that push at the bot lane, it should take the fort out. And now it definitely will, with Syndrogosa being used 100%. The Haka tries to go for Anduin, Diablo putting a stop to this immediately. Just pulling him around a bit, but the fort is gone and the shield on the Immortal isn't even removed. So, amazing play now for the red team. They're getting a lot out of this objective. It's the first objective in all of this, and they are getting a lot out of that situation. So, really, really nice spot for them to be in. They dropped the wall at the keep. Gul'dan, the last few fights, has just been eating dirt every single time. And really, really struggled to get anywhere with this. So, huge problem for him. And now the keep is also taking an enormous amount of hit points that get dropped. So, that's 50% gone. Just like that. This is amazing from their perspective. So, from their perspective, this is just great. Now, the big question that still remains is then, of course, also what else are they going to be able to do, for example, around the top lane. Taking that fort out here is a really important and big first step that they, of course, want to pull off. So this is going to be an easy one for them. And yeah, they weren't quite able to do the entire thing. But this is still mega nice. And now the blue team flanking in, looking for kills, trying to at least grab the Haka here. He gets attacked super fast, but is still able to walk out. Chromie, though, she has shorter legs. She can't get away. Right Wing has no legs whatsoever, and that's, of course, her downfall. So that's another double kill for Sometimes You Win. After it just looked like the red team might get a bit of a foothold here, they've now been pushed back out and are just struggling. The blue team is using the position that they had to destroy the wall instantly. So nice move by them, but whew, that's 4 kills to 0 now, and now it's also started to reflect in the actual experience, because that is nearly a level lead for them once again. So the camp gets stolen away too. And yeah, next Immortal coming in. At least going to be a 5 versus 5. Nobody's going to have level 20 talents, at least when it starts. Might change a little bit around all of this, but for now, they're just taking camp after camp. And they're not even done with just taking the 2 shaman camps. They're also stealing the one at the top. Not stealing, but yeah, they're taking the one at the top. So easy claim for them. And then the move straight towards the big fight over Immortal number 4. So, here's the chance now. Can the red team take this one? Because their problem is still the same. They're now behind in experience. Your opponent has already taken a significant lead. They haven't gotten a single kill yet. That's an issue. Light bomb engage. Chromie jumping out. Jumping onto one of her clones. So that was actually amazing. That light bomb would have been the end of her. But they still had to retreat. Are trying to get their 5-man together, and that means their Immortal is taking damage. And Gul'dan is obviously taking full advantage now of the Ruinous Affliction synergy, and it's getting a lot. Halftime show already over. Diablo, isolation has hit him. Horrify was used. Arthas maybe in some trouble, and he's dead. Arthas is down, and he's not the only one that's going to die here, is he now? The Haka, is he going to get away? He actually is. And Brightwing was able to jump out, but that leaves the Immortal fully exposed. There's nobody here that can even delay this, and this means it's 100% on the shield for Sometimes You Win. This is an insane Immortal, and just look how many factors come together here. The lane is already pushed out, there's a camp catapult pushing, level 20 talents have just now been taken, the wall is already gone, and they have a full shield Immortal. And they're even attacking before the Immortal is there and get the fort removed a bit. They won the victory in game number 1 of the best of 5 series here in the grand final. Right here, right now, and it seems like this is definitely in the cards. Unless they're losing heroes quickly, they have a shot at the core. For sure. This is looking amazing right now for Sometimes You Win. This might be one of those times where they win. Now, 20 is not ready yet for the red team. They're desperately trying, but they can't. Haka, Arthas, the front line. They barely escape, but the core is already starting to fall. Diablo is still alive. What? And he puts the barbecue play on. That's gonna be game. Arthas is dead, 6 kills to 0, and they take the first game of this best of 5. Sometimes You Win takes the lead.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Towers of Doom! I got some trust issues. I got burned. I went through the entire introduction and then all of a sudden a team fully disconnected. Most of them, but it seems like now, at least initially, we're good to go. So, game number 1 didn't work out for the red team. They lost on Battlefield of Eternity. Sergeant Hammer ended up with the top damage in the game, but they just couldn't get a kill. Now, the 10 heroes that were played cannot be played again, so this is already going to impact things at least a little bit. But can the KD agents bring it back now? Towers of Doom, obviously, a pretty interesting map, also in the context that we had a lot of Vikings games on Towers of Doom in this tournament. So once the map was called and announced, the first people immediately mentioned, hey, we're going to get Vikings again. So it would be pretty fun. I wouldn't mind. Others then advocated for Asmodan plus Butcher, which I would also actually really enjoy. I don't think they can win with it, but I would definitely want to witness it. Want to witness them trying to do that. Guess we're not going to get the Vikings. The KD agents, yeah, they kind of needed that too. So with that, we now have Vikings eliminated. Vala has been eliminated too. And let's see what we're going to get as a first blood for the map. We still have a couple of globals also open. Falls that could be taken, of course. Top laners will be interesting to see what they're going to go for here. Still only the first map in the best of 5 series, but already a great start. Sometimes You Win had a very nice comp for the last map. They really did well also with Gul'dan. Hit enormous damage, and Sergeant Hammer did not like dealing with Gul'dan at all. So we start things off with Junkrat for White Tiger. That's... I mean, again, you have to remember one thing. Every single hero that gets picked cannot be picked again later. So when you see something like Junkrat being picked, then you have to also immediately think about other maps where Junkrat would be really good that could be played at a later date. Normally, Tomb of Spider Queen, Infernal Shrines, those are maps, of course, where he would now be missing as an option for the teams. So now we'll be with Falstad, and then we get Sonya. So they are going to have Sonya running through the top lane. Don't know if we're going to get anything too crazy. If you want to go for a bit of a curveball play, I guess Stitches could be played, and there he is. So now you have Stitches, Malfurion, Junkrat, which means that you have roots that Malfurion can use after Stitches hits the target. We have the trap from Junkrat, so you have a bit of a delivery system here. If you get that all done, you are going to be in a pretty neat spot. It's just a shame that they banned Medivh, because they could have used Medivh. If they use Medivh and they get a hook, Gorge, and then just a portal, you can go for an old school kidnap combo and just try to escort the target into the death zone, lock it down with Junkrat or Malfurion, and guarantee yourself a kill, at least if you are being the one that's pushed. Now, Garrosh is also quickly banned out. That's the final ban for game number 2. And with this now, we have, of course, quick double pick for the blue team, and they have to react to this at least on the support side. Something that can help target whenever Stitches gets a successful hook in. And they go for Lucio here. They have Jojo, so even just a Blessed Shield being thrown out when Stitches gets a successful Gorge off would be a neat one. Yeah, Lucio is also going to speed them up as they're moving between the lanes. But the final 2 picks for map number 2, I mean, KD agents would like to draw, or to force a draw right now, because, to be honest, once they own 2, it's not impossible to fight back, but it's going to get tough. Winning 3 in a row isn't easy. Leo and Genji, so that gives us an Entomb as a follow-up as well. So there's a lot that sent us around the Stitches comp. They need to land those hooks, and we'll have to see how exactly Sometimes You Win is going to deal with that. So, final pick. Bit more damage is needed. Falstad alone is not enough. Oh, and they go for Nazebo. Alright. Didn't expect that. Towers of Doom, ladies and gentlemen. Off we go. We have our second map in the grand final between the KD agents and Sometimes You Win. The 1-0 lead for Sometimes You Win. And the KD agents trying to bring it back. Nice talent choices here as well. We have on the left side the blue team with Haidunio. On Falstad, We get Patapon on Sonya. Bouncy Bear is playing Johanna. Snowbee with Toad build on Nazebo, and then Kensei on Lucio. So Nazebo, someone that you normally don't see here. Keep in mind you can't attack the core directly. On the right side, we get Simply on Stitches. We have Kani on Junkrat, McGiblets on Malfurion. Crocodile is playing Leoric, and Genji played by White Tiger. We had actually that Nazebo play earlier, I think it was in the first series between the two teams, also with the Toad build, where he just got an absolute absurd amount of stacks and then dominated the late game. And the second then he hit 20 in Violent Infection, they just ended it all. It was crazy. Now here this is a little bit different because he can't attack the core directly, but he can of course still have a huge impact on trying to convert those spell towers over. And once you have the full control there, you're in a great spot. So with the Toad build, you are guaranteed that he can do tons of damage against this. Oof, Leo still dying as he rotated topside. Gets caught, and that is first blood. So 1 kill to 0 already, and the blue team is zipping around with Lucio trying to get quick kills in. Now, on the other side, it's obviously around the hooks. Once that level 13 is ready, the hook range is going to be increased. Right now, not the case, but you find yourself still in a spot where the occasional hook can, of course, cause a lot of trouble. Jojo also with a bit of a deviation around her level 1 talent, so it's not only Stitches that went into a globe talent here. We have Hungry for More for him. So 5% of extra movement speed are already guaranteed, and he's going to get more as the game continues. But Johanna went into Laws of Hope. So far, so good. So with that, we're going to have less pressure on the healer, less pressure on Lucio, more self-sustain for her during those fights. And yeah, let's see what they can do as we have big team fights with 5 versus 5s coming up. For now, Nazebo is just attempting to stack a little bit. It's not really so much about his level 1, but more so about the baseline. They're clearly thinking that this one is going to 20 for sure. Falset is now flying in as they're going for Leo, and stuff like this is just great because now they already have the upper hand. Not only can they take the pumpkin camp at the top, but thanks to that little play from Falstad, Leo now has to tap the fountain, is already on the back foot in this one-on-one against Sonya, which is going to make it much easier for the blue team to control the top lane. So he's even forced back now, which means the pumpkins are likely going to connect. I mean, Genji's coming in to try and prevent it, I guess. But yeah, pumpkins are nearly there, and they're just going to let it happen at this point. So the connect is happening. The first altar phase is also announced. We're talking triple altar at this point in time. And down at the bottom of the map, Kani now. They're trying to flank in for him, but he's able to get away. Stitches has 6 stacks, Johanna has 7. It's actually kind of fun to see the two of them compete for those globes. We'll see who is going to be able to get ahead later on in the game. Who is taking the upper hand on all of this. But yeah, they even exchange at the top left. Oh, actually, hold your horses for a second. Genji's taking a lot of damage here, but he might be coming in again. Lucio is also trying to say hello as they're moving in for Leoric once more. But yep, exchange at the top left, top right. But at the bottom of the map, it's the red team that was able to claim the additional 3rd altar, and therefore a small advantage now on the core. Junkrat just flying away, just saying hello here. Saying like, hey guys, how you doing? Hope everything's fine. See you later. But yeah, by now we have level 7 in. Hook connects. Jojo is not going to be too impressed with the hook. Hooks against her are not going to have a big effect. It's just not a thing. But they're invading the camp now. And this is a 5 versus 5. They're going for Stitches, forcing him back for now. Ooh, blue team is also a bit low. It's Nazebo that falls. And they're still fighting for the point. Leo about to die, and so does Sonya. The KD agents are coming in with a double kill, and they also claim the camp. So good news for them. Falsa is trying to get away. Hook misses. That one was obviously a bit telegraphed. I mean, they saw that one coming from a mile away. He's super transparent that this will happen any second. I mean, no reason not to try, obviously, but easy dodge. And Lucio thinks he's cute. He is just running around trying to check what they're pulling off here. but needs to be also a bit careful because it is much easier than he seems to think to run into some trouble and all of a sudden getting murdered by another hook from Stitches coming through in the red team that was just taking that camp and being there in full force, just totally crushing it. So yeah, for now everything is still fine, but has to be a bit on the cautious side, I'd argue. Now, anyways, we have the altar at the bottom of the map. Single altar in the second phase. Stitches is eating early damage in the fight again, but he's not really too impressed. He has 12 stacks now on his level 1, which gives him extra hit points, of course. Nice connect from Sonya, but she just put herself into a bad spot with Leo rotating back down. So Genji is able to get a kill and moves out, and that's a 4 versus 5. Hook and follow up from Junkrat against Lucio, and that is another kill for the KD agents. They even get fall stat. Wow. Total killing spree for them right now. They move in for Johanna, and it's basically a team wipe. They're essentially getting a full team wipe there as they are taking the team out. Love the kill against Lucio in particular. 6 kills to 2, and that was just a nasty sequence. Blue team in some real trouble, 1 level behind, and boah, this will get tricky. This will definitely get tricky. So right now we got shots fired against the core, and it's also 5 because the bell tower was converted over first. So that is really bad news. You lose your bell tower, you lose essentially your entire team. And you're now a level behind, and you have to also get your bell tower control back. So good luck trying to pull that off. This is not going to be easy for the blue team. They have the lead in the series, but here in game number 2, they've definitely suffered. And I am not sure if they can easily come back from that point. But I guess we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely have an eye on that. They are not even trying to get the fort or the bell tower at the bottom of the map back. Instead, they move in for Stitches, who gets completely hit by everything, and this time he's down. They even dropped the ult of Nazeebo because they said, like, yeah, we don't really care. That guy is gonna die. He's gonna go down, and he did. So Stitches is gone. Jojo with the rest of the team can now start to go for the pumpkin camp on the left. They don't have to be afraid of any hooks, which, by the way, will also be a lot more dangerous in a moment. Nice optimism, Sonya. Not like that. I mean, it's a cool idea, I guess. You are in a spot where you... the cooldown is fine. Like, right, the next fight, she's probably gonna have it in time. I'm not quite sure what exactly they're doing here. Maybe they want to try and irritate people a little bit, but that's a lot of pauses and unpauses. I guess with the pressure at the bottom of the map, they had too many people pressing the buttons. So the nerfs are playing some tricks on the blue team. Put upon the one who finally pauses it over here, but we are in a very interesting situation right now for the blue team. They got the kill on Stitches, that's nice, but now they're going to get level 13 in a moment, and we all know what happens with Stitches on 13. He gets his hook range increased. So that one is pretty annoying. Nazeebo is still stacking well, though. Nazeebo is sitting at 114 now. They're already being forced back here. They're all low, and the pumpkins connect. 1 through 2. They were so low that they didn't want to stay longer. Genji, once he goes in with the Swift Strike, could have gotten a kill, a reset, and then just cleaned the field out. So now altar on each side. A bit of vision over there. Lucio is jumping around. Stitches tries to get into range for a hook. Has his range increased now. A few shots are fired, but the points on the core, we're now talking 20 to 33. Yeah. 20 to 33. Still the attack at the bottom of the map. Falset trying to get away, hiding behind the minion wave, as he should. Still needs to be a bit careful with the angles that Stitches is getting. Yeah. Whoa! Through the gate? What? Bye-bye, Lucio. Was nice knowing you. Okay. He thought he was safe, but yep, not so much. What the hell? Okay. Stitches is just going for it. Gets the hit. Lucio thought he was fine, and well, he learned very quickly that he just simply wasn't. So that one is kill number 7. Was kill number 7. Oh, Sonya! Nice! Get baited! That was sick. Okay, first the hook through the gate, and now that play. Instead of leaping away, she just simply leaps on Genji with perfect timing. I mean, check this one out. So damn good. Genji thought he was awesome. X strike and was like, yeah, thank you. Where do I have a 2 leap? Where the X is. Ah, thanks. I got it. So, bell tower has been reconverted now. But that was a pretty awesome kill by, set up by Sonya. So, yeah, good stuff. Can they get to the gate with this? I don't think so. Iron Skin, yeah, is ready, and she's able to walk out. So, Jojo, totally fine here. That's the problem if you have Joanna against US Stitches. You might connect those hooks, but she's generally fine. Now, that's a leading experience even for the blue team, so they haven't really given up on this. They're behind in core points, of course, by a significant margin, and they're now losing the altar at the bottom of the map. Sonya's trying to at least get the one in the middle, and is able to pull that off. There's another hook. They don't have Gorge, but Lucio might still be in trouble, and they're just turning it. They're just like, hey, if you get hooked, we are fighting into them. But there's the kill against Sonya again on the side, and they have to gust to get away, and might not even be able to do that. Genji is immediately there. They get Falstad as a follow-up kill, and they're just all too low. The problem is that now we get a kill against Nazeebo. He is at 158 stacks. If they make it somehow to 20, they have a really good shot at turning the game around, I think. But the bigger question is, can they make it to 20? Because they're down to 16 points on the core. If they want to delay the game, what they need to do is win some altars. And currently they're just not doing that. Iron Skin is not up. Iron Skin is... Okay, there it is. Iron Skin is still up. Still able to get away. And Jojo is able to survive for now. But boy, are they struggling. They are really, really struggling here. Sonya is back. Falstad is now coming in. Bottom bell tower has been taking tons of damage. And Nazeebo is moving to the top to get all the minions that are top side. And Jojo is still able to get out. Blessed Shield, but even that is not enough to get them another kill. But Nazeebo is just farming all of this. And again, he will have the stacks. Not a problem whatsoever. The question is, are they getting to 20? And a lot of this is going to be answered around this fight, because 3 altars are now up. If 2 altars are claimed, then they're down to... 2 altars are claimed by the KD agents. The blue team is down to 8 points on the core. And that would be problematic. Not impossible, but definitely problematic. You have to at least delay it a bit. Delay the altars, if not take 2 yourself. And they're trying to delay the top right. That's the hope right now. Oh, Leo, yeah, you went a little bit short there, my friend. And he still survives. It's actually ridiculous. Leo is still able to get away. Now, they just can't. It's too good to have Junkrat in that spot. But they can at least slow this down a little bit. As long as they're delaying it, that's already good news. Yeah, the grenade does not connect. And, well, he does. The leap this time not successful. Lucio falls, but so does Genji. So kill for kill. There's the gust into a bit of a corner, but I'm not sure if they have the damage here. Sonya gets pushed into a trap that already moved around a little bit, and she's trying to get away, but another grenade finds home, and she's gone too. So now we have the altar about to be channeled at the top right. Nobody can interrupt this anymore, and we're only on level 17. I'm telling you, with single digits on the core, the blue team is in trouble. They wanted the late game Nazeebo power, and they just don't have it. Their game is not going well. Boss is up, could be taken. One more altar after a boss claim, and by the way, this is also not looking too hot. They are mega low down there. So they're trying to go for Leoki. They might be able to get that, and they do. So yes, Leoki goes down, but this is a hero that is going to be back within seconds, and it's going to spawn right in place. So, not sure. If they can get a few more kills down here, that would go a long way, but currently they just can't. They're trying to go for Junkrat. Cannot get him. Ice block from Nazeebo. And there's the Gorge on Lucio. And Lucio is gone. No chance for him. But at least they get the counter kill on Genji. So the leaps that we see from Sonya, some of them are absolutely on point. Gus is getting used right away. And the follow-up is too much for Falstad to handle. The synergy that we're getting from the KD agents in some of these fights is absolutely nasty. So many good plays. The follow-ups from Junkrat and from Malfurion are perfect. The Entomb isn't though. But I think Jojo is still gonna die. I mean, she's trying, but it's just not happening. Johanna is down. They're so close, by the way. If you think about this for a second, they're one level away from level 20. I mean, they're not guaranteed to win the game if they hit level 20. But I think the game might end before they have a real shot here. It's a single altar and then the boss is up. If they could have delayed this for just another 2-3 minutes, I think there's a chance that they get Nazeebo. And with Nazeebo, they have a shot. Without Nazeebo, they don't have a shot. So, yeah. Level 20 is ready. They take the altar. Now it's 4 points. They go for the boss. Sonya might fall. She can be... I mean, she's really lucky that Leo didn't have the Entomb ready yet. They're trying to catch Lucio and they can't. Leap and the kill. God, they throw everything against Leo just to make sure that they get that opportunity here. Lucio's running away. Falstad shouldn't chase too much. If he can get the kill, that's great. And he does! Oh, the last few times they tried this, it backfired massively. They're about to hit level 20. Oh, but Falstad gets killed. But they're gonna have the ult. And, well, Wild Infection, lock it in, baby. Where is it? Where's my Wild Infection? Nazeebo, what are you doing? Hit your 20. There we go. Thank you. Now the chance. 4 points to 25. Can they turn this? Here comes the Gorge. He gobbles everything up. He gobbles everything up and he's still going to die. They need bell towers and they need them quickly. Nazeebo needs to turn the game here. They also need to remove that boss. That's definitely true. This is the big question right now. Can they somehow turn the game around with only 4 points on their core? The boss, that's an easy one. Easy peasy. Claim that. Need to. Need to remove it because if they don't, then it's a tool that can be used by their opponent to win the game. So the shots are fired. 4 against 21. They need more. Oh boy, and now it's a double altar. They haven't even taken a bell tower yet. Sonya is trying at the top to grab it. Nazeebo should honestly be there and at least unleash a couple of his toads. And he's now finally ready to do exactly that. Gets the toads in, they got the bell tower. 4-4. Falstad is on the left side. Over here, they're trying to go for Leoki. They need to start channeling this. There's already... I mean, they're using the ult to just zone them away. They're going to get both of them. Both of them are being taken. Now it's 4 points to 13. They have closed it by 12 points already. Oh, they're trying to go for the mad comeback here. 58,000 damage from Genji. 45,000 from Falstad. They try and go for the pumpkins. And obviously the blue team is trying to reclaim their bottom bell tower. And destroy the pumpkins that are on the way. Stitch is going to be looking for that monster hook. Gets the hook and it gets cancelled out by the Iron Skin. Grenade after grenade is now coming. They need Nazeebo down here. Falstad gets hit and Leap comes in. The trap. Falstad is alive and now Nazeebo is going for it. But he gets gobbled up as well. They're gobbling everything up here. The Riptire and Lucio is dead. Nazeebo is still alive. The pumpkins. No, Johanna is dead. Can Nazeebo get some kills in with a big damage? And Falstad goes down. This should be lights out here. Nazeebo is still alive. Dodges another hook, but it's a 5 versus 2 on the map. Altar is going to spawn at the bot lane. And that's the lane that they can't access. What an insane play again from the KD agents. Everything's on the line here and they're somehow pulling it off. 30 kills in the game now. Nazeebo, where is he going to go? What is he going to do? 219 stacks for him. They try to protect the middle. They try to protect the middle. Hook is already out. They're saving it. But the altar is spawning in 8. They can't reach this. This is it. This is it. False is going to be not be back in time to fly in. They're just going to shut this down. The channel has already happened. This is game. It's a tie in the series. Nicely done. The KD Agents. They tie, sometimes you win in the grand final of the Underdog Cup. GG. Khaldor, game number 3. The Agents, they pulled it off. They tied the series on Towers of Doom. Nicely done. Kudos. Really well played by them. And obviously, those Stitches hooks were quite something. But you could tell that towards the end, when Zebo hit level 20, they were getting a little bit nervous. And for very good reason. Zebo nearly turned it around. Just imagine how this game would have looked if it wouldn't have started with 4 points against 25. But let's say 12 to 25. Totally different ball game. So, yeah. The KD Agents, they won the game. Did a great job. Really good synergies around Stitches hooks. But now they have to come up with a different strategy in order to win map number 3. 20 heroes have been played. 20 heroes are out. Blaze is our first pick, and the Vikings and also Medivh have been banned right away. And this seems to be the pattern. The one hero that just gets banned over and over again is Medivh. They're always getting rid of him. They are not allowing him to get in at all. And it is absolutely understandable. So it doesn't really come as a shock. Hanzo and Deckard Kane. And, well, that just kicks us off into draft number 3. And here comes Kharazim and Abathur. We get the slug finally. Good times. Great times. Love it. Has been a while. But I've talked about Abathur earlier. Now we have him, and we get Kharazim on top of that too. So you can really dash in deep and try and do the damage here. Ah, awesome map, awesome draft. It's already amazing. The slug is in their house.
Hail to the king, baby.
There can be only one. Oh yeah. He's like the Highlander. I still want to see new Abathur heroics. I want to have an ult that is called Bitch Slap, where if you hit somebody from behind, you insta-kill them. That would be incredible, and it would turn Abathur into a potential melee monster that can emerge from a bush and scare the living crap out of you. But Blizzard is not listening to my fantastic ideas, unfortunately. But we need, like, honestly, Maga, make Abathur great again. Like, I don't know, we need to get some hats or something. Like something around that. But yeah, we need to start a Maga movement. Make Abathur great again. We can go for t-shirts, hats, and the whole shebang. Abathur hat, Maga hats. Get it? Yeah. Fantastic ideas there. I should copyright that. Illidan! So it wasn't only Abathur. We're now getting Illidan too. And then a Nubarak on top of that. So, yeah. Final 2 picks. A bit hesitant on that now. Poor Abathur is going to be hunted by Illidan. That's what's going to happen here. But, well, let's see what we're getting. Come on, boys. ETC and Tracer. Okay, so Tracer gets a hat from Abathur and Kharazim. So that's already pretty sick. And the final pick, this should be a wild game. I mean, no matter what happens, it should be interesting. This is pretty awesome. The final pick for the red team, they have their frontline, I guess. I suppose a third melee would really go a long way for them too. Unless they want to stack damage galore. But here comes Chen. We get the Panda. Fat Illidan and Illidan united on one team. Can that lose? Well, we're going to find out. Cursed Hollow, map number 3. Game number 3. One team will take the lead. Who's it going to be? Who will be the team to pull ahead in this one now? First of all, on the left in blue, we have, drumroll, Sometimes You Win with the king himself, Haidunyo on Abathur, going for pressurized glance. Alright, off the bat, we got Palapon on Blaze, Kenze on Kharazim, Snowbee on Tracer, and Bouncy Bear with Block Party on level 1 is playing ETC. On the right side, Illidan, the blind leading the KD agents, played by White Tiger, simply is rocking a Nubarak. We got Kani on Hanzo, Make Giblets on Deckard Cain, and Kratodel on Illidan. Yeah, already a bit of a move down at the bottom of the map, but up at the top side, they want some structures, and they're taking that very, very quickly here. So, quick move straight in for some structure control, as they're trying to take a tower out. That hasn't quite happened. Instead, they took the gate out, which of course also allows them access into the back, and therefore a chance to take Abathur out whenever he pokes his head out. At the same time, the blue team rotated in though and said, okay, if you attack at the top, then we're at least going to say hello. Problem when you play an Abathur composition is always that you are initially at least a bit behind, because you can't fully commit to a lot of fights, or at least you would think so, because you're missing that one big hit point pool. But they get the Anubara kill. They apparently haven't heard any of this, so they move in and take Anubarak out. Oh, and there's already the 3-2-3 pause. Yep, they're starting to pause the game already early. Tactical pause confirmed. Early game, not going as intended. Need to pause and discuss what's going on. Probably a couple of lags happening over here, but yeah, definitely not the start that they were envisioning when all of this popped up. So they're losing Anubarak. They haven't really been able to do too much else. Illidan is sitting in the middle. Also, Illidan, by the way, went straight for Unending Hatred as his level 1 talent. So he's going to try and stack this up heavily and will gain more power as the game continues, since he can obviously stack this past the 20. That would complete the quest for him. But the blue team will, at least in the early game, try. I mean, for them it's important to attempt to get a couple of kills, so that's obviously the first step. But what's really important for the blue team is also that they are trying to either delay or grab one of the tributes, because it can be a problem if your opponent gets to the early level 10 or just starts the fight for the tribute for the final one. You don't have the copy with Abathur yet and can't really make a play there. And talking about the Abathur copy, that will be another interesting little play, because they could go, I mean, who are they going to copy? If you go for Blaze, for example, you could very quickly go for double jet propulsion. You can, I guess, go for double Kerosene that gives you heal and a bit more on-point damage on the single target. I want to see who they're targeting with this anyways. I guess Hanzo, since he's one of the more squishy heroes here, would be a very good one to try and attack early on with this. So yeah, he's definitely someone that they could lock onto. But this should be a wild game. After game number 2, I expect big things from these teams. Especially, of course, given the comps that are currently being played here. I mean, I need some actual fireworks. So yeah, Hanzo's going for the camp. ETC over on the left side together with Kerosene that is starting to punch everything out. Is doing the exact same thing. So a couple of siege giants are underway, and yeah, Haidunio at the bottom of the map with Abathur just doing his thing and looking pretty, as he should. I mean, can Abathur do anything else? He always looks pretty. Abathur never has a bad head, eh? Never. So camp after camp gets taken. Red team is not aggressively trying to invade any of this, which technically you of course could try to do. Level 4 talents already in pretty quickly. And with that, we have, as you would expect, Adrenal Overlord. So already the attack speed is in. And Kerosene is going to have quite a bit of fun with this. He's going to just punch them into oblivion whenever he gets a chance there. So Abathur on Kerosene trying to take Hanzo down. That should terrify Hanzo. Also, in addition to that, they have speed metal. There's a lot of speed coming in. Movement speed, attack speed. As this continues, Adrenal Overlord later, it's going to be a fun one. They're going to be very mobile on this. And then it comes down to Kensei and how exactly he's going to be able to perform here. But there's a lot of potential with this. A lot of potential for shenanigans and some sick little plays. Chen at the top, still all alone, has the right skin but the wrong tint. Everybody knows that the black and white War Master tint is superior and clearly the best choice. But the first seat is now up and they are going to try and block at least one of them in. Abathur has moved towards the top. Jet propulsion connects, nice! And here comes the punchy boy. And they are actually threatening him quite nicely and they get the tribute. This in and of itself... Okay, hasn't happened yet. Boah, they're killing him again. Damn. And Nubarak now down for the second time. Uh-oh, that shouldn't really happen in the early game. You shouldn't start losing 2 of your heroes when you're up against an Avatar composition like this. And you're also losing the tribute. So while there is structural damage that happens because they went for the tribute, it also means that there's absolutely no way for the KD agents to boost early experience and try and exploit an early curse. That's just not gonna happen. Instead, we have, again, Karazim just punching out Illidan here. Actually, it's Tracer. Karazim is just now coming. That's the reason why Illidan is still alive. Because Karazim wasn't there yet. So, yeah. It's actually funny to me that we have Chen and Illidan on the same side. Let him eat cake. This, right here, is what happens when you give Illidan too much cake. He gets fat and just does the same thing, just a little bit less jumpy. But yeah, fat Illidan is in the house, so is real Illidan. The blind is going for it once again at the bottom of the map. He's at 5 stacks now for his level... Oh, for his level 1, but look at that. Network Carapace, not going for Mule. Okay, bit more lane push available for him now. But, interesting. Mule is, for most Avatar players, a talent that they are not dropping. But Karazim now with a bit more attacking right here at those Siege Giants. They're getting them into play just in time. Now, of course, the big question is, are they actually going to fight for this? It's a little bit less likely. Again, they don't have the copy yet, but they already had an experience. So it's nice for them. Yeah, Blaze gets stunned, but he makes it out. Deckard Cain, on the other hand, you can run, baby. Well, actually, you can't because you're old and fragile and senile. But you can try. You're still not going to be able to pull it off, though. So, yeah, he is already gone. Tracer is now jumping in straight on Hanzo. Chen is dead. And Nubarak somehow survived. But I don't think that Hanzo will. So, that's 3 kills all of a sudden against the KD agents. Guys, this is 5 kills to 0. They're about to hit level 10. And they're getting 2 out of the first 2 tributes. Yeah. And they're going for a boss. This is starting to get a bit crazy. That draft is working out really nicely. Great body block, by the way, Tracer. That is an A+ move right there. I'm not quite sure what Blaze did to piss you off, but that's still a bit of a weird one. So I'm going to show you that again. Tracer did that on purpose. I mean, look at this. She moves out. Blaze tries to escape. She body blocks him straight into the stun. That's just backstabbing. I mean, I don't even know what to say here. Like, this is incredible. How these two can be teammates is absolutely beyond me. Betrayal of the First Order. Level 10 abilities are in. Now they're jumping up towards the top, and the blue team might actually lose some heroes finally. Nope, I'm just kidding. It's Hanzo that dies. Illidan wants a kill, but now Karazim says hello, and all of a sudden Illidan is all alone here. He's just like, help! And he's not going to get any. He's getting a stun instead, and that's Illidan eliminated. 7 kills to 0. Sometimes you win goes through the agents like hot butter through cheese. One by one, they die. They want the old man, and they're gonna get the old man. Another stun, another kill, and he goes down faster than Joe Biden when he tries to walk down a flight of stairs. Absolutely nasty. 8 kills to 0 now, and it's just brutal. Deckard Cain is gone. We have a 1.5 level lead right now. It is ridiculous. The boss at the bottom of the map has already taken a fort down, and this, yeah, even gets a stun through against the Nubarak. And of course, there's another boss that they could have taken. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't try. I'm actually a little bit surprised that they didn't try to take the second boss at the top. Why wouldn't they? They have the vision at the bot lane of where the opponent is, so they could try and do it, but they decided against it. It's a 2-level advantage, basically. But currently we have at least the ults on the side of the agents. So the hunt is in. Illidan has the hunt. It's actually hearthing out. He's trying. Okay, Illidan, either you hunt or you die. Those are your options. And, well, die it is. Fair enough. So, yeah. He goes down again. At least they're gonna get the tribute. Are they? Yeah, thank God. That would be too much. I mean, at some point, we gotta draw the line somewhere, right? So, the whole boss is just a minefield. Nubarak is dead again in the mid lane, and they are pushing for even more here. trying to take out not only the fort, but every single hero that just dares to step into their path. Jet propulsion misses, but it's only the copy of Abathur that missed here, so they cloned Blaze, and now the fort is gone, which means all the forts are eliminated. Every single one. 10 kills to 0. All the forts are gone on the red team side. Sometimes you win. They want the lead in the series, clearly. Not too happy with what the KD agents did to them on the last map, with all of those Stitches shenanigans. So now they're trying to bring it back, and with a lot of success. Just to check out the damage numbers a bit, we have Trace on 22,000 damage, Abathur's on 18k, and then we get Blaze on 14,000. Karazim, maybe not really with the numbers, but he's been chasing down the squishies the entire time, also putting Abathur, of course, in a decent spot. And now that they have another talent advantage, maybe even a curse in the cards for them. 14,000 for Hanzo. Yep, and this is going to... well, actually it's another 8 seconds, so 13 versus 13. Red team has a chance to fight, and they should fight. They should do something here. Oh, 7-sided does some damage, but Underdog is not blown away this easily this time. Chen, on the other hand, is not that picky. Here comes the hunt. They try and get the Tracer kill. They can't. And now it's a 5 versus 4. It's a party. Dance, baby, dance. ETC. And they lose the fight, but they're trying to get the tribute, and they're going to get it. I like it. Illidan just steals the tribute away from them. Underdog dies, and over here they're also trying to go for Hanzo. Blaze is in the meantime still chasing Illidan. The copy is gone, but Illidan obviously is now going to fall now that the support is in. There's no hunt available anymore. So it's 13 kills to 0. This is just crazy. They make this look like a quick match, honestly. I mean, they're farming them. This is a Farmville simulator right here. The blue team with a comp that works just beautifully against their opponents. Now they're going for the next boss fight. They see an opportunity to dish out some damage as well. They go for Chen again, and he is gone. Is he? Yeah, of course he's gone. Chen is eliminated. They let the boss leech, and they're just like, alright, more kills, awesome. More experience, more kills. They have 16 on the board. Look at the slug. Abathur is down here. He's all out on the map so that he can get some additional pressure from the locusts. But yeah, not a single kill yet for the KD agents. And we all know why. All of us. We look at this and we're like, duh. What did you expect? You go up against Abathur.
Hail to the king, baby.
The one and only. The blue team, they even let themselves get cursed. They're just sitting there like, curse, bring it. That was intentional. That was not by accident. They just said like, we don't care. It's actually a little bit wild that the blue team is getting cursed instead of the red team. It's kind of crazy. And just a quick reminder, the KD agents haven't gotten a single kill. Not one kill. So, yeah. Down here, White Tiger. What? I think he's been sniffing glue or something. What is happening? He thought he could get that easily all by himself? No. Just no. I mean, I guess he can, but also why would you in that situation? So, Illidan, very optimistic here. And the one thing that I still don't really understand is, can he not hunt? Did he have nothing in range that was in vision that he could have hunted? So, this curse did nothing. As we say in professional circles, it did jack shit. Absolutely nothing. 15 kills to 0. That topside fort is still standing, and they now go for the next boss. Now, all jokes and memes aside a little bit, one thing is still true. The blue team has to actually go for it right now. You can't have 15 kills to 0 and run a 3-level advantage over your opponent and then take a bit of a break here. You need to do something. And with something, I mean, take some keeps out. Because if you don't, it's going to backfire. You're going to get punished later. It's a boss for a boss trade currently, and they're taking more camps, but those camps are not going to win them anything. They need to really start thinking, okay, what are we going to take out? Which keep are we going to focus on? Are we just going to wait for another tribute and try and get the curse going, or what's the plan here? It's even talents at this point, so every single fight is on an eye level at least. So, yeah. Okay, Now, what do we have? Illidan, by the way, is still incomplete as level 1. Apparently he doesn't have enough hatred. Doesn't get played in Hero League enough anymore, or he would have a lot of it. Feel the hatred of 10,000 quick match games. Honestly, I think if you play 10,000 quick match games, Blizzard should be legally required to pay for your therapist bills. It's just my personal opinion. You can disagree if you want, but I think this is the only deal that we would accept there. That seems appropriate if you ask me. They want 20, by the way, and they want the curse. So they're just waiting it out. They have for Abathur also adrenaline boost. So lots and lots of movement speed together with ETC's level 4. And yeah, they're gonna get their Storm Talents in a second. And the Tribute is also announced. So this is where it's going to hit hard. You have an opponent against you that has level 20 talents. Likely it's gonna get a curse here. And then they're gonna go for keeps. It's the only play. Right there. So we'll see how that works out. Hivemind is in. Transgression. And we got the Storm Shield for ETC. And he has to pick on the curse. Last Tribute. Illidan is at the bottom of the map. Chased away by Abathur. The real king. And they're already pushing in the middle. So the curse hits. They're trying to get a quick kill. But Deckard misses it. Just a step too late, which happens when you're old age. Illidan is jumping in hard. Tries to go for ETC. They didn't get the kill there. Kharazim is a little bit low, but it's again Illidan that dies first. Illidan is already gone. They go for Chen. They kill him too. Anubarak dives away. And now it is time to end what they started. 3 heroes are dead. This is just lights out right there. They're going to end the game here. They're going for the keep and they will eliminate it with only 2 defenders, the old man and Anubarak. There's absolutely no way they can hold this. This is Sometimes You Win with just an incredible display of their skills in game number 3 of this best of 5 series of the grand final. So they are unlocking the first match point of this tournament and tournament grand final, and we'll see if they can pull it off. Sometimes You Win takes the W on Cursed Hollow and therefore the lead in the best of 5. GG. Match point! Infernal Shrines, game number 4. That was quite the game that they now played on Cursed Hollow. So, Sometimes You Win has taken the lead again and is now 1 victory away from crowning themselves the champion of the very first Underdog Cup right now. And we'll see if they can win this one, or if we're going to the final map. The KD Agents, they need a new strategy here. This is map number 4. 30 heroes have been played and they cannot be played again. So people have to start dipping a little bit deeper into their bag of tricks and into their hero pool too. Let's see what they're coming up with right now. I'm kind of curious. Really excited how this is going to go now. Medivh gets banned. Again, that doesn't really come as a shock. He's been banned by the KD Agents every single time throughout the entire day. Vala also eliminated. Here comes the Mephisto ban. We have a couple of mages that could still be claimed, of course. Ophir hasn't been played yet. You could still also go, I believe, for Kelthas. We haven't seen him yet in this series either. So if you are looking for mages, there are still a few options. But there is plenty to go around still. It should be pretty awesome. Garrosh gets banned too. And I'm just excited for this. After all the games that we've seen, this is awesome. Here comes Hogger. It's kind of wild that he's still available in the 4th game that we're playing. But he can, of course, bounce around on the Shrine fairly easily. They could also try and go for some kind of sniper combo. We've talked a lot about the Stukov Varian combo. And if you want to get some burst damage in, you could also use Jaina there. She gives you the good rotations on mercenary camps. And you can use her on the Shrine. You can use her for the hero kills as well. But we get Oriel. And we get May. Okay, it's getting frosty after all. Oriel plus May. I can't wait to see what the teams are coming up with now. This is another map where I could have maybe seen also Nazebo make an appearance, but he was of course played earlier already, so he's not going to be a thing here. But boy, it is gonna be great. So, Rega, very, very late to the party, but he's in. Giblets is gonna be happy about it. It's actually kind of interesting that he's picking Rega now so late in some of these series, where throughout the tournament it was one of the earliest picks in game number 1 usually. So Tychus for the Odin transformation, of course. I guess Tacita is also still around. Yeah, Tacita would be another pick that could be taken by the teams here. Oh, and they're actually banning. They're banning Varian. Interesting. Why do you ban Varian here? There's nothing on the other side that makes me scared of Varian at this point. Taunt into Tychus damage. But yeah, doesn't shock me too much unless you're gonna try and put Shogal into the mix, which I don't see happening. Then the bigger they are would maybe be a problem. Cassia now gets banned as well. But Varian was not really something that I had on my list after they already picked Rhaegar. Normally you want to have more stun follow-up in case that you want to use Varian properly. Again, Varian Stukov, Varian Malfurion, something like that is usually the play, or some stuns behind it. So for frontline, we still have plenty around too. But the double pick for the blue team. We get Jaina. Jaina and D.Va. Girl power over here. Look at that. Oriel, Mei, Jaina, and D.Va. So we're gonna see who the final pick here is. Either a very lucky guy, or they're rounding out the quintet. With another pick. So, right side of the map. The red team. We need our front line. It's gonna be Kel'Thas. Kel'Thas and Mirrodin. Mirrodin is in, Kel'Thas for the mage damage. I like it. We can work with that. Especially in game number 4. And now we still need another damage dealer. Nova comes to mind. Player killer number 1. They need something to deal with this. But it is Zagara, the Zerg Queen. Alright, can they actually pull that one off? More into Ring of Frost maybe? Guys, let's check it out. Infernal Shrines, it's the first match point in the best of 5 series here at the grand final of the Underdog Cup. Sometimes you win against the KD agents. Let's check it out. It might be the final map. Game 4. On the left, in blue, we got the girls with Haidunio on Zagara for Sometimes You Win, Padapon on D.Va. Bouncy Bear is playing Mei, Kensei on Oriel, and Snowy on Jaina. It could have been a girls versus boys setup in this 4th game, and it looked really good for a long time on the side of the agents, but then they picked 4 guys and they locked in Kel'Thas. So, yeah, not quite there. Simply on Mirrodin, we got Kani on Tychus, Giblets on Rhaegar, White Tiger on Kel'Thas, and Kratodel is playing Hogger. The chance for the agents to force game number 5. Oh, and they're already starting this up with a lot of aggression. Rushing in and trying to get the first kill. Targeting D.Va first, but spreading the bombs amongst the rest of them as well. So, yeah. This is going to be a fun one. There's so much stuff that they can execute here, especially after level 10 abilities, of course, kick in. This is going to be pretty amazing. I want to see if we're going to get that Ring of Frost, for example. Mirrodin, yeah, gets whipped into a wall. Oriel was all the time a little bit more on the naughty side. Yeah, that's what I meant. So, that whip, she handles it well. Let me tell you that. And I have a lot of experience there. So, there's that. Just generally when it comes to just life, you know, if you had as many jobs as I did, then that comes with a certain amount of life experience that you can just share. It really translates also into this a little bit, but working as a doctor in a past, as an astronaut, a pizza delivery boy, a real estate agent, a fireman, a policeman, or a plumber, I mean, you learn a trick or two. Just saying. Now with Kel'Thas also double checking the camp down at the bottom, each team has of course taken their respective mercenary camp, but it's about the neutral one that we're talking here. So far we haven't seen a single kill yet, but after all of the slapping around that the KD agents experienced in game number 3, they are going to be eager to break the spell and get the lead in this one. By now we have also in the mid lane with the rotations a little bit of action happening. You might notice, by the way, bottom camp not taken. Nobody wanted to make the play there. We're just a little bit too afraid that it would turn against them, and still some shenanigans over here. Well, in the meantime, while they're all ramping up, once again, quick reminder, if you want to support more tournaments like this and just esports and Heroes of the Storm in general, you can support those efforts at patreon.com/Khaldor. If you watch it currently on YouTube, then you have a link in the description that you can check out as well. We've been now keeping the Heroes of the Storm esports scene alive for the last 6-7 years, ever since Blizzard abandoned that, of course. And if you want to help with that, then this is the way to go. Big shout out to all of the people that already support the channel, all of this on Patreon. And again, if you are thinking about it, very much appreciated, and you can go over to patreon.com/Khaldor and support it there if you want to be part of this. So thanks already to everyone doing exactly that. And well, Mirrodin jumping in and trying to get the Stormball connected with Zagara. Not able to pull it off yet, but she was already out of mana anyway, so she had to head back. No kills yet, but everybody is starting to get quite aggressive and trying to establish a bit of a presence on the map. Another whip, another hit, and Oriel, yeah, there's the first kill. Down goes Jaina. Fire apparently stronger than ice. So in that little dance of... Ooh, careful. In that little song of ice and fire, we have Kelthas coming out ahead of for now. The repeated offense. Oh yeah, come on, Oriel. I've been a naughty, naughty boy. So, somebody is spinning out of control at the top. And Mei is now dead as well. So, that's a double kill. Kelthas, actually, it is proven now. He killed not only Jaina, but also Mei. So, our Fire Mage is absolutely reigning supreme. And that is the start that you want if you're trying to fight for game number 5. So not only do they get the first 2 kills, but they get the early level 7. On top of that, they are way ahead on the objective, and they're claiming the Arcane Punisher. So far, so good. Looking great here, actually. This is exactly what you want to happen in that spot. They are pulling ahead. They have a chance to take a big lead here. They're already, I mean, nearly a level ahead. So, there's the hits. This is the wall about to fall. Mirrodin, Kelthas are trying to go for Divas. Both of them are attempting to flank, but Diva... Bye-bye! Yep, that's another one that bites the dust, and that is kill number 3. Let's just say this game is so far not going the way the blue team wanted. Not even a little bit. Kelthas is burning them all, and now they're going for the Dreadlord again, and Jaina is dead. Another tactical pause from the red team. Actually, from the blue team. Yeah, they need a pause here because they got absolutely farmed. 4 kills to 0. I guess we're only 4.5 minutes into the game right now. So the blue team, they are absolutely not having a good day here. I'm totally abandoning the boys against girls narrative, by the way, because if I continue talking about it and making some jokes, a couple of people are going to get very angry and YouTube is just going to demonetize my channel. I'm not going to risk that. So let's just ignore that for just a second here. But maybe they needed to draft some different heroes here. Then again, they've been killed by Kelthas, and I already voiced my opinion about his masculinity. So there's that, just saying. But they're controlling now all of the mercenary camps. They, of course, have taken a 1-level lead, which means that we're getting closer to level 10 for them, too. Which is pretty big as well. And, more importantly, with Master Assassin taken on level 4, we have now the first 4 stacks. Mirrodin is immediately on them again. Jumps in and gets some big hits together. Yep. I want to say, the one thing that I really love about Kelthas in general, and why I was really sad when he started to disappear because of all the mobility creep that came in, is that as a mage, he has also Gravity Lapse, and this is just such a fantastic tool if you're staggering some CC. Back in the day was ETC Kelthas, it was just the comp. Power Slide into a Gravity Lapse, it was amazing to see that. And I still enjoy it, but obviously Kelthas is having a lot of trouble against some of the Overwatch heroes in particular. And ever since all of that happened, some heroes just kind of disappeared out of the meta, and he is one of them. We see him occasionally, but not nearly as often as we did in the past. In this context, though, where you can only play hero once within the series, as you approach the later games, Khaldor starts to become a viable option. And this is what's going on here. Nice dodge by Jaina, but the Gravity Lapse hits home, and White Tiger is absolutely pulling this off. So, oh, that was a nice one. The follow-up Maw is also great. Now they need Jaina. If they get Jaina in at that moment, they get so many kills. But they at least get one. That's the first one. Rhaegar is still on the run. Aegis is being used. Mei is also in trouble. This is such a weird fight. It's such a weird one. Mei is down, but they kill Hogger and also Rhaegar. So they get a quick double kill here. And with that, they are starting to draw a little bit more even with your opponent. Mirrodin launches the Stormbolt, or Tychus would have most likely died too. Jaina is now up at the top. But, well, here we are. That was pretty nice. Everything just in that close quarter area. And so much work done. So that's now in total 3 kills to 6. But that also means that the blue team is back to business. Yeah. Zagara also coming back now. She has also got... I mean, if we get... imagine for a second. We get a nice Avalanche play into a Maw, into a Ring of Frost. That would be just chef's kiss right there. So now that we're fighting for the next objective, you could actually see that happen. But it's again Kel'Thas with all that damage. Good Aegis from Auriel, but that's an early cooldown that had to be burned there. Can Zagara get that more set up? First of all, the Pyro hits her. She's still fine. They're only hitting Rhaegar with this little play, and now Tychus has Odin activated. So the point on the shrine goes again to the KD agents. They're fighting tooth and nail for this position. In comes D.Va, trying to push them out a little bit. So far, so good. Got barely... Well, actually, she got like 5 minions. I was hoping for a few more, I suppose. But they're still fighting this very, very heavily. Ring of Frost is there. They could technically use it. There's the Maw. Where's the ring? Maw is out. Ring ding dong. And there's the double kill. Whoop, whoop. And they get a triple. They get Mirrodin too. So 3 heroes down. They might still lose the objective. Depends a little bit on Kel'Thas, who's the only survivor here. But he's not going to survive for long. This is going to be a 5-man team wipe. But he got it. He got it. Oh, what a boss. He actually won the objective for them. But the Maw into the ring was amazing. So the final flame strike that he throws out wins them the Punisher. Absolutely amazing. But still, seeing the kills come together for the blue team was crazy good. So Kel'Thas, kudos to you, but your team is now still behind. Still pretty wild that he was able to pull that one off. 20,000 damage for Tychus, same as for Zagara. So the numbers are coming together. Oh yeah, Mirrodin wants the camp. It's the Stormbolt too. And they're jumping on Auriel. Oh, big. And ring. And another kill. They're gonna get Tychus for sure. They might get more. But this was beautiful. Work of art. Just imagine a bit more damage available in that situation. They could have gotten even more kills. Talking about kills, Mirrodin is essentially dead but somehow made it out. And Rhaegar is on the run and is able to escape too. This is probably more crazy than the fact that they lost some. Spray game is kind of on point. It's the pleb spray, but at least he's getting a few off. But that was awesome as well. So the escape was great. The setup was great too. They could have gotten more kills, but it just came out of nowhere. And now Mei gets counter-killed. 15 to 14 though on the level count. Ah, wild game. Love it. It's an awesome game. This is exactly what we were hoping for as we went into game number 4. I mean, the 5th map would of course be spectacular here if we would get another game out of the series. But already an absolute banger. 2-kill lead, 4 sometimes you win. They got the vision at the bottom. Get some damage through. Whip into the wall. Kel'Thas with Mana Addict. And can he get out? Well, can the Ancestral... I don't think he has it. The Ancestral is out too. Tries to turn it. Ice block from Jaina. And Kel'Thas dies. They are trying to go for Zagara, by the way. But she survives too. And now these two are a little bit trapped. Hogger might be able to escape, and does. Jaina eats a bit too much damage, and then Muradin, I mean, they kind of saved him here. He's still trying to escape. Not out yet. I'm gonna find him soon. Oh, unfortunate. And Muradin makes it out. The survival skills of some of the heroes on the red team side are incredible. They should have lost at least 2 more heroes than they did, but they keep them alive. There's also a lot of creep still around, so they had some vision, but they're not able to do a lot about it. And now Zagara at the top, vision or no vision, she gets caught and killed. So Zagara gone, level 16 for both sides, and the shrine is already activating in 22, so Zagara is going to miss out on the initial play. Once that she's back, they're going to have the full wombo available again though. Ooh, even sizzling attacks now coming in. So, yeah. Down at the bottom of the map, they try to go for the fort. Weren't quite able to destroy it, but that's a lot of damage already on it. And Hogga is already activating the shrine topside. So, yeah, he will get some very early stacks for the red team. Zagara back in 7. And the blue team is rotating very, very safely towards the top. Now, pleb horses galore. Bouncy Bear and Kenzie moving in. Zagara is now on the move. But there's already 10 stacks for the KD agents. Can they get another one of these big maws up? Whip into the wall. But the attack, ice block. May gets attacked. Hogga saying hello. And May against Tychus. But they go for Hogga and kill him first. Didn't even need any of their ults for that. And of course now, big maw. Where's the ring? More ring, and they mistimed it. Actually, no, they got it. My bad, my bad, my bad. Rhaegar is gone. Looked like a mistime, but it connected. And now they can go for a 3rd kill against Muradin. He wants the cooldown back. He doesn't have it, so that's Muradin eliminated. 3 more kills for sometimes you win. Jaina ice blocks the damage. Totally killing it here. What a series. So, yep, pretty neat. Auriel also eating another living bomb, but boy are they rocking this now. They got another nice Punisher at the top. Actually a frozen one. This is on the other hand maybe a bit of a problem. Nah, she's fine. She's fine. Boom! Even can ice block this entire thing. But yeah, a couple of pyros did some works here. Now, either way, at the top, they have an open corridor now towards the fort before the Punisher is even there, because the red team abandoned the lane and went down to the bottom of the map. To go for a camp. I mean, there's a frozen Punisher and now you're losing your top fort. So that's gone. I guess the frozen Punisher alone is going to do some damage and also ensure that the fort is really lost. But the rest of the team is hopefully thinking a little bit more about going for a couple of either the camps, but even more interesting would be if they destroy the bottom fort. That's long overdue. That thing is so low, and this is the perfect opportunity. Breaking the wall and trying to eliminate the fort in the middle would also be a nice play. But yeah, off we go. So D.Va is at the bottom of the map. Top side, Punisher only has to face off against Tychus, so the wall is likely going to fall. Maybe the keep itself is going to take some damage. Not really too much, but they have nearly pushed the one in the middle down to 50%, and D.Va is of course eliminating the one at the bot lane as already suggested. Should be an easy one for her here. Gets a couple of additional hits through missiles, and that's that. That's also level 20. So with level 20, we now get the Deep Chill, and we get the Pack Instinct. Push to the middle, try and go for the final fort. The red team hasn't eliminated a single one yet. They lost 2. They might lose their 3rd. So here we go. That's another push with the Avalanche, but this time it didn't connect. But they got the fort already, so at this point you can just simply siege up a bit more. Ooh, if they can kill Kelthas here, that would be amazing. The whip and the ancestral. The ring did not hit him, but he nearly got killed by the blizzard afterwards. Kelthas, that he survived, is a miracle in and of itself, but it obviously still hurts. So at the top left, the camp was stolen by the red team. They at least have that playing. That also reduces the pressure through the top. But the wall in the middle is now gone. And even with Tychus pushing Odin out, they are having trouble defending all of this. There's a massive siege going on, and Oriel, of course, operating on Hope the entire time can keep them in play a bit longer. The keep is slowly starting to take damage, and then there's also the bot lane to consider, where Khaldor is trying to get them some additional experience. So, yep, this is going to be a toughie. Sometimes you win, they want the tournament victory. They're doing really well here to slowly and steadily put the opponent into a chokehold and try to eliminate them. But, yeah, they can't quite get that keep. And level 20 is now so close to the KD agents that they're also rather head back than just try and stay a bit too long here. 12 stacks by now on the Reservoir of Hope, by the way. So, yeah, getting a few more together here. We have level 20 coming in just a little bit. Damage outputs, I mean, 44,000 for Khaldor. Zagara is a bit ahead of him with 51k. But now we got the Ancestral upgrade. We got Flamethrower for Khaldor, and of course Rewind for Muradin, which is going to be really nice if he wants to execute the stun chain or just has to pop out of the fight. On top of that, still the camps to be claimed. 5 kills ahead. A little bit of a pew 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 over here. And one last camp on the map besides that, and that's what they're aiming for. The Shrine is activating. We're talking about the mid lane. So for the blue team, it would be a huge victory if they can get the objective, because it would more or less guarantee the keep to be destroyed. But let's not forget that they also have a fountain, the blue team. Stormbolt connects. Oh, they threw everything at Muradin, and it nearly hit him. Yeah, they were getting very close to whip him into a wall, and it might not have killed him, but it would have probably forced him to pop an ult here. So, big red button is already activated. Big damage in that choke point. Mei still moving away here. Everybody else is trying to come in from the side. They got a couple of points together, but Odin got activated very, very early. They could wait this out, and they still have a fountain to tap, which they already did. So a bit of a pre-tap going on as they move in for the Shrine, for Hogger, and also, of course, for Odin, for Tychus. Muradin sitting at the side. Nice Stormbolt. A full-on follow-up. Aegis is in, but she might still die. Gets a heal through. Somehow still alive. God knows how. Mei's alive too. Oriel surviving is ridiculous. They put a double Stormbolt on her and tried to just blow her up within seconds. She barely got the Aegis through and then the heal. If they would have staggered the Stormbolt a little bit more, they could have gotten the kill. More only against Muradin. Can they blow the dwarf up? They try, and he's gone. Gets whipped, but the keep in the middle is nearly destroyed on the red team side because there's minions pushing through. Keep is likely going to fall now, and then the bot lane is also pushing. The objective got taken by the red team, but this isn't over. Ice block by Jaina. Where's the heal? It's too late. The heal is too late. They gotta retreat here. Rhaegar jumps in, but one keep is gone. The Punisher in the middle is going for the fort. Zagara, and this is a hit. And it doesn't connect properly because she has a level 13 talent. She had the spell shield and able to tank the damage. In comes Tychus. They try for D.Va, and she gets out with under 100 hit points. But guys, this is a problem here. They need to try and defend this. In the middle, the keep is gone. But down at the bottom of the map, this is just too much. They're trying to defend with Muradin, I suppose, because the red team thinks they have a chance to go for a keep themselves. They're pushing through the mid lane right now. This is just an insane game. Jaina isn't there. What a series. What a grand final. What a fantastic tournament. That one was, I mean, honestly, I'm so happy that we actually started this one. So happy that we went for this. Muradin is defending down here. The keep has taken way too much damage though, and they are likely going to try and make a play for this at some point. I mean, they should. They should really try and move in for it. Same time though, I would have loved for them to take at least the catapult at the top lane out, because they themselves are not immune to catapults wreaking havoc. It's 20 minutes in, nobody's there. They catch it early though and now make their way over, so this is not going to take too much damage, and they're also going for the camp. Jaina is the one to take the minions out, so easy for them, but that would have been a problem, of course, if that came through. 9 stacks on the level 4 for Tychus, so that's the next one as well. And down at the bottom of the map, this is where the red team is now getting into position. 67,000 damage for Kalthas, 55,000 for Tigers. Zagara, 66k. They see it, they want it, they go for the fight. Everybody slowed, here comes... I mean, they just sent them packing, I guess, and they get the camp. But that's also big cooldowns burned once more. So I'm not sure if that was worth it for them. Imagine that avalanche coming through and setting something up for Jaina. This could have been the play that wins them the game. But we're not there yet. Blue team has also taken damage on 2 of their keeps. Red team has lost 1 and is suffering very, very low hit point syndrome on keep number 2. Even the push at the top here needs to be met by Hogga, and he is waiting this out a bit. The next shrine is also at the bottom of the map. It's kind of bad news for the KD agents for multiple reasons. One of them being that at the bot lane we find the final fort of Sometimes You Win. So they still have a fountain there. Could try and set another trap here. May saying hello here real quickly. Okay, the whips are coming out. And nice. Okay, Living Bomb not spread here. But Kalthas is obviously having a field day with a lot of these plays that he's executing. 15 stacks for the 16 on the side of Oriel. Just as a bit of a side note. This is a wild one. I could see this go either way. 24 kills by now. Yeah, they're whipping this up. Shrine is getting activated. And let's see who takes this. Muradin in the bush. And he misses the Stormbolt. Misses Stormbolt. May rotates in. Rest of them easily jumping away. Alright, they know what's up here. Gotta spread this a little bit. Yep, need to heal her up too. Can still tap a couple of fountains, but the shrine is activating in 5. And Kalthas is still poking, and he always manages to get another hit in. But he's also a little bit far out. Careful, my friend. It's not a spot in which you are, which you should die. Zagara, yeah. A little bit low. Muradin! And even with the ult of Jaina, they weren't able to kill him. He stayed in the middle, he's fine. Hogga has to hold a pulled out though. And here comes the more. Do they have the damage? Muradin! He gets the Ancestral. Better safe than sorry. May missing the Avalanche. A lot of nerves playing a role here too now, of course. More heals coming out. And again, Oriel in a bit of trouble. Aegis! Not used. Tapping the fountain and retreating here. Team can reset. 20 to 25 stacks. They're going to let it slide. They're not re-engaging. They're going to wait this out. They're too low. They're giving them the Punisher. Top side, by the way. Yeah, well, this is not really threatening anything. But now there's the Frozen Punisher, and that's the big boy, of course. Ooh. Yep. We're now 24 minutes into the game. Game number 4. KD Agents, they want game 5. They want to win this one. They want to make sure that they have a chance to win the tournament. They want revenge. Revenge for the winner bracket final. Punisher at 87%. First they have to bait it over, but the poke at the wall is already happening and the side wall is opened up. There's the jump, Stormbolt as a follow-up, and of course it's again Kalthas. They're already diving away and they're getting the Punisher really low very, very quickly. So yeah, good for them. Obviously Zagara playing a huge role here too. This is likely not going to cost them a keep unless kills are coming in. Aegis already used. More against 2. Where's the ring? Ring is in. And too early. Too early, but Muradin, mega low, and he makes it out. Zagara tanks it again. Her level 13 just allows her to stay safe in those situations. They burn the Punisher down. The keep is low. Tigers could maybe get it. Tigers could get it for the team. They're tapping fountains again. Yeah, we have Jaina is just a little bit too trigger happy on some of her rings. I think even the initial ring earlier where I called it was not actually connected and it was just her abilities that followed up on it. But it seemed like a few times now that she is using it just too soon and it doesn't do anything for them. So now the keep is destroyed. Each team has lost the keep. Bot lane still super low. 51 stacks also for Kalthas on his level 1 on Manarek. 60 now for the Reservoir of Hope. So, yeah, she is getting a ton out there. Tons of heals. Actually, let's look at some numbers as well. So 115,000 heals from Oriel, 98,000 from Rhaegar. That's what we're looking at. So, yeah, they got a lot. The damage numbers also, I mean, Kalthas is basically in the 6-digit club already. 99,000 for him, and Zagara is just behind him at 95k. One big team fight is all that we need here. Next shrine is spawning in the middle again. Red team has done whatever they could to keep in this game, to make sure that they have a chance to execute those plays. And they are currently absolutely crushing it. Oriel, by the way, has not died yet. So many big saves from her earlier. Yeah, and here we are again. 18 stacks now on the 16. So she is getting massive heal numbers out. But is it going to be enough to win them the game? Kalthas is a problem. Tychus fighting into Odin. Super annoying. It's been a huge problem for them for a long time right now. Every time that they have to fight into Odin, it's just another, I mean, I don't want to say disaster, but it's really tough. And that's obviously what the shrines are about. They're not forcing a fight outside of this, so they have to deal with it. They need to set up that Maw, maybe with an avalanche, if Mei can hit that. And then Jaina needs to be on point with a Ring of Frost. If they pull that off again, they did a few times, then they can win this. But the red team, they are patient now. They just set a trap around the camp. I don't think anybody is even moving in for this. We're 27.5 minutes into the game here from Feral Shrines. 27.5 minutes. Catapults are getting eliminated at the top lane. That's one where you have to push against a bit so that you are not suffering loss of a keep or any other structure. Because if catapults make it to a core or a keep right now, you know you're toast. Stormbolt is out. Fine. They go for Muradin. Just a little bit of poke damage initially. Gravity Lapse is already getting dodged here. So far, so good. And it's time. Tychus. When is he going to pop it? When is he going to go for Odin again? Muradin. Another Stormbolt at the side. Hits. The whip doesn't. And it's always Kalthas. Here he comes. Here comes Odin. They try to get control of the shrine. Get a little minions. 17 stacks for them against 7. Can they hit this? Can they hit that more? Mei's already coming in. She wants to angle for the avalanche. Not yet. Hogger is a little bit low. But so far the blue team is maintaining their hit points at least. 25 to 16. That's the stack points. Whip into the wall. They're getting the hit against Muradin. Tychus needs to be careful too. He's going to run out eventually. 31 against 19. Blue team looking good here. Aegis is out. Mei missing the ult again. Here's the shield. Shield of hope, but they get the kill. Hogger is gone. Mei, on the other hand, she dies as well. It's a kill for a kill. The Punisher already taken. Muradin is jumping out. They could go for Rhaegar, and they're trying to get him here. The Giblets on the run. Stormbolt connects again as Muradin is coming in from the side to save the rest of his teammates. Top side keep is going to be lost. Guys, the core is losing hit points. The catapults are in. That's game. They're trying to retreat. They're trying to retreat. Muradin interrupts them. D.Va is the only one there. 25, and they save the core for now. It's 13 points on the core. 11, 7, 6, 3. They can barely save it. Over here, the Punisher is coming in. Can they somehow pull this off? 1 freaking percent, and the Winions have it. GG. We go to game number 5. What a finish. Okay, after that, I actually had to recover for a second. Holy hell, what a finish. The camp takes it on the final hit. The core is down to 1%, and then the camp eliminates it. While the Punisher that they won attacks the core on the other side of the map. Absolutely crazy. If they would have been able to get back a little bit sooner and defend, I think they might just have been able to cross the map and win it. But as it turns out, we are going the full distance on this one, as this grand final deserves. We are going to map number 5, and it's Sky Temple. So, Sylvanas and Garrosh get banned, Vala insta-pick. I swear to God, this is the first time that we're running this draft. This is not one of those things where the draft disconnected and they're just doing the same thing again. Nope. We have just instantly, okay, we're going to get rid of all of these things, and then Vala is available, and they just say, okay, this is ours now. This is map number 5. 40 heroes are now unavailable. That removes half of the hero pool if you also take into account that we have 6 bans in the draft. So Uther as an early pick, we get Imperius here, and it is on. Sometimes you win. They nearly pulled it off, but the KD agents now 1 map win away from not only getting revenge on the blue team, but also winning the tournament. So yeah, it is a spicy series. And what are they going to get with Vala now? I mean, obviously, they have to also double check if the heroes are still available here. We get Stukov and we... Oh, Stukov Whitemane. Okay, double support is already in the game. Vala double support. All their attacks are gonna fly in this one. I think Tyrael is still available. Just to talk about some of the tanks that we could see. You can use Imperius also as a main tank in a situation like this. There are other options. I mean, just saying, Cho'Gall, Stukov, Whitemane, Vala, Cho'Gall. Think about it. For game number 5. Why not? That would be the play here. Double support Cho'Gall, Vala. Oh boy. A man can dream. So, yeah. Maiev gets banned. She was still there. And now for the red team. What's going to be the move for them? What's the option now? What's the damage looking like on Sky Temple? Yeah, they're already hesitating here. I mean, again, it all comes down to this. And immediately after the game was over, players were saying like, hey, we need a short break here. We need to grab a drink because that was crazy. We were how long was the game? More than 30 minutes, or did we just barely scratch it? I don't even remember. I think it must have been more than 30 minutes. We have Tyrael and Cassia now. Tyrael, Imperius plus Cassia. Uther for the Divine Shield then too. And over on the blue team side, their final 2 picks in this tournament for Sometimes You Win. What are they going to walk away with at the front line? What's going to be the frontline pick for them? Oh! Lunara Gazlo! Mal'Ganis got banned, and they decided that they would go Lunara Gazlo on this. Holy crap. We've had Gazlo a few times, don't get me wrong, but damn. And then, for the red team, the final pick, it's Ophia. Ophia plus Cassia. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 5, KD Agents in the grand final against Sometimes You Win here at the Underdog Cup. Let's go. The final map, map number 5, Sky Temple. On the left side, Haidunio on Vala, of course, with Creed of the Hunter as the level 1 talent. We have Padapon on Gazlo, Bouncy Bear on Stukov, Kensei on Whitemane, and Snowbee is playing Lunara. The Stukov main tank for the blue team, as on the right side, the KD Agents are playing with Simply on Tyrael, Giblets on Uther, we got Kratodel on Imperius, Kani on Cassia, and White Tiger is playing Ophia. Stukov main tank has been played by some of the top teams too. It's definitely something that you can pull off. I'm not saying it's not possible, but this is still a ballsy statement to go for this particular comp with Gazlo added on the side lane for game number 5. And again, Sometimes You Win has played a fantastic tournament. These guys have been crushing it. Winner bracket final. It was a 3-1 victory over the KD Agents. Now they're playing here in the grand final, and they might lose it all here. They could come in second place. It comes down to what the red team is now able to pull off. Bambi is already hopping around and trying to get the hits together, and she's actually pressuring Ophia a lot. And then Vala is joining the fun with 10 hits that she already connected on her level 1 ability, and also able to do a bit more damage with the rest. Oh. Yeah, Cassia poking her head out is also regretting that very quickly. So we'll see who takes it here. Tons of damage, of course, for Sometimes You Win, and the sustain that comes with it. Then we have Gazlo, who they're using at the side lane. Ophia, oh yes, already moving in, trying to get the kill, and she is not able to get it. Instead, she's in trouble all of a sudden. But of course, with Imperius still around, they're fine. But this is not over. That fight is actually still going on. Orphea trying to fight it. They're starting to flank in again. The rest of the team is coming in too. Orphea, and she's first blood. Down goes the schoolgirl. Vala connects the hits. 20 stacks for her on the level 1 ability already. And we are only 1.5 minutes into the game. Imperius with the stun connects. Tyrael, his brother from another mother here with Ardent Restoration on level 1. So we'll see what they are going to use later. Judgment into an Orphea ult would actually be pretty sick as well. Maybe start the CC chain off with Tyrael coming in, but of course Sanctification is just an amazing tool on a boss fight as well. That giving up on that is always super, super tough here. But yep, we have camps claimed by both teams now. Vala with Death Dealer, and we get the easy peasy Dimensional Ripper for our good lord Gazlo here. Oh boy, what a series. Honestly, game number 4 was just absolutely incredible. It was ridiculous that something like this could even happen. So many moments where the game could have flipped and gone a different way. Yeah, Stukov also going a bit of a different way than Imperius expected and is able to get out, at least initially, but that's still a bit too much for him to handle as the entire red team collapses onto him. So that's a full 5-man against Stukov, and even he is not able to pull that off. That said, this means that at the bottom of the map, Gazlo is able to get also some extra damage in. Orphea is now trying to deal with him and will. But while that's going on, the shrines are active, the temples, and at the top it's the red team that takes it, whereas nobody is really looking at the mid lane. Actually, as I say, that's not quite true. Red team is now going for both. So the KD agents are getting shots fired from both temples currently. Not great if you are a fan of the blue team. Vala is adding more hits in, so she's able to stack it up to 29. Gazlo saying hello here real quickly, but at least at the top the blue team has now taken over. If anything, then at least you want to have an even split between the shots, and that's already going to be tough for them as is. Ooh, Gazlo trying to get away here, and he's able to make it out, but they really want him dead. I mean, they really do. Now the fight centering back around the mid lane. They are getting the final few shots. They haven't lost any structures yet, so at least they pick a couple off here. But now it's a kill for a kill. We have also Splintered Spear for Lunara. Going a bit against the Choking Blossom that we see most of the time these days. It's kind of old school European style that's being played by Lunara right now. And a little bit more AoE on this, but oh, there's the kill on Whitemane. What about Vala? And she's dead too. It's a triple, baby. It's a quad kill. Yep. In she goes for the big slap. Nicely done by Orphea. Slaps them around, and that is a big play right now. The agents. Whitemane was the first one to fall, and then it's just one move by Orphea after another, and they keep dying. That's also 15% of the attack speed bonus gone on Vala's side. She has 36 stacks, but they are going in for that fort. So all of the forts are taking damage on the blue team side. Obviously, the KD agents are not fully inting for the structure, but are starting to dive out here. It still remains the fact that they are now 1.5 levels ahead, and they are in such a great spot. This could be the comeback from them. They got dropped into the losers bracket by Sometimes You Win. They were just jonesing for that revenge match, and now they're here in game 5, and they have the upper hand and might just make that loser bracket run a success. Here comes Judgment. They get Judgment. I talked about it earlier. Judgment is in. They got follow-up stuns, and they can also chomp down with Orphea. Here's the kill against Stukov. Judgment is ready. They try to get another kill, and they get it on Whitemane. Judgment plus also the ult of Imperius, and the two of them tag team the two supports. That's 2 more kills, and they want to go for an early boss. They have level 10, why wouldn't they? You got level 10, 7 kills, 2-1. The KD agents. You gotta understand, how many games have they played today? This is game number, what, 11 now? I believe this is game number 12 if I'm not mistaken. 11 or 12, something like that. So they have been playing the entire day. I mean, it's honestly crazy. these guys have been just pulling double shifts here, and they might get rewarded for it. Now, level 10 ready in a few moments. Also for sometimes you win, but they're still going to lose the fort at the bottom of the map. Level 10 abilities on the blue team side now. And for now, we got them with Rain of Vengeance. We got the Flailing Swipe here. Whiteman, of course, to the Aegis. Top side, another fort is falling, and down here, they're just going to bounce back. They're totally willing to give some shots up. Why wouldn't they? At the top, they go for Gazlo. I don't think he can escape this time. Especially not with the connect here from... Yeah. Actually, Gazlo? Okay, he finally dies, but he made them waste everything they had. This fort will still fall. It's not the only one. In the middle, they destroyed another one. So all the outer structures are now gone. Sometimes you win doesn't have a single fort standing anymore. Ooh. Down here, this one still in play. And this is honestly where you're starting to have some real doubts in the back of your head if you're sometimes you win. Imagine doing such a fantastic run through the winner bracket, then taking the 2-1 lead in the grand final, and all of a sudden you find yourself not only tied with your opponent, but also just behind in the game that decides the entire series. It's a 2-level advantage. The KDHs have a 2-level advantage. So right now, they are probably at least a little bit panicky here. And boy. Down at the bottom of the map, Tyrael still rotating over. Next few temples are going to be bot lane and top lane. Vala still has not gotten her first quest reward. She died once. Hasn't hit 50 yet. 16 stacks for Tyrael for survivability. And they're dominant on the map right now. Blue team has basically just said, okay, we're going to sit tight here for now. We're going to wait for level 13, or at least for some experience. We don't move out. They have too many engage tools. They can stun us out with Uther. They have Judgment to start all of this up. They have a Valkyrie on Cassia. And then on top of that, they also have Imperius' ult, which can isolate us even more. So they are not willing to get out on the map. And for good reason. If they move out and anybody flanks them, they're likely going to lose another hero and even more ground here. So now it's 25 seconds until the temples are up. Red team is completely dominating all of this, of course. But there's only so much that they can do right now. So they're working on the walls. They're getting some extra damage in against the structures. And as we've always talked about, any structural damage you can do on Sky Temple without using the objective is a win. It means your shots from the temples are going to attack the core so much faster. And if you just look at the minimap, it already tells the tale. Every single fort is still standing for the red team. Some are low, granted, but now the shots that are fired are starting to hit the walls on the keeps. They're getting a few of the shots down here too. Imperius is moving out very, very early. Not willing to die here for this. They know that they have the upper hand, that they are in the lead, and they don't want to throw it away. So they're playing this a little bit more cautious, trying to get some extra damage in. Topside wall is, of course, going to be opened up. And Ophia is helping out with the minions too. Blue team is desperately trying to bounce between the shots down at the bottom of the temple to trying to defend their lanes as well. And we have the KD agents with a bit of a trap that they're setting up now to over in that bush. But the topside shots have now been fired, and the first keep is down to 50% of its HP on the blue team side. And there are still a couple of shots left at the bottom of the map. And that will drop this keep also a lot lower. The problem is really that level 16 is now available for the KD agents. They are so far ahead. I mean, look at the experience distribution here. Mercenary experience favoring the red team. Hero experience, insane gap between the two of them. And then you have the passive experience where, of course, the red team is also taking the lead because of all the structures that got already destroyed. Now the shots are not taking the keep out, but they're dropping it mega low, and we could see another fight happening. Already, the play being made. Here comes Valkyrie. The stun. And he's trying to get out, but Stukov just can't hack it. He's gone, and now Whitemane gets grabbed by Imperius. This is likely going to be another kill. Whitemane is dead. Judgment, baby. And Vala is destroyed. Vala is gone. They want the bottom keep. They're starting to make the play for it. They are 3 levels ahead right now. 10 kills ahead. What a play. This is the end of Gazlo. The Gazlord is gone. The keep is gone. This is how that all started. And they are moving for... they tried to move for the core. Cassia got excited. Cassia wanted to go for the core, but they decided against it. But it's another triple kill. The boss is obviously up. One keep is already gone. Double temple is coming up next. They are doing what they can to not throw this game. They could have maybe ended at the core. It was a bit of a gamble, but they could have pulled it off. They decided to play it as safe as they can. Gazlo isn't here yet, and they want the boss, but they are also getting poked down by Lunara, so they gotta be a bit careful here. And the blue team is now about to claim this one. Gazlo is on his way. Problem is, there's also a big camp coming through the top, so this keep could fall. Boss is still fine. Nobody wants the leash. Somebody's gonna claim it. Right here, Vala is down. She's dead again. The Divine Shield saved Ophia. Vala has lost way too much of her attack speed already. That's Stukov gone. That's the hopes and dreams of sometimes you win being eliminated. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you face the KDA agents. 17 kills to 1. 5-man team wipe. And the red team is on their way to victory. They pulled it off. Absolutely insane. They are able to dominate the final map. They go through sometimes you win like hot butter through cheese. Absolutely crushing the opponents. They get the revenge for the results in the winner bracket final and crown themselves the champions of Underdog Cup #1. GG, well played, and what an amazing grand final. Nicely done and congratulations.